Hey everybody, James Bellini here. I am with a spokesperson for San Angelo, for
West Texas Indivisible.
West Texas Indivisible. What are y'all doing out here?
We're here. We are showing up and supporting No Kings. That is a visibility protest that's going across America today. There's going to be 2,500 events, millions of Americans out here all kind of saying the same thing. No Kings in America. There's been a constant push from this current administration of unchecked power, of constantly unconstitutional executive orders that are getting struck down. And we're just here to stand up against that and really show that, there might be more than one way of thinking here in San Angelo.
And can you kind of tell me what West Texas Indivisible is real fast?
Yeah, we're just a volunteer organization here in San Angelo. We're really about making sure that our voices are represented inside the political spectrum, but also in San Angelo. We are nonpartisan. Obviously it looks like we lean one way, but we're honestly open to support. There's things on both sides that have issues, and we're here to really say, hey, if they're coming against human rights, if they're standing against our power, really what we're dealing with is we got a whole bunch of oligarchs in power. All the billionaires are donating and taking over our political process. So we're here to stand up against that and say the power really belongs with the people, not with the people with the most money.
I will say billionaires donate to both sides.
Yes, totally.
Is that a problem for y'all?
Yeah. It is a problem. It's a problem that somebody with $1 billion has more of a vote than really the person that has just their own vote. We want to stand up against that, and really that's why we really support. There's a bipartisan push that's saying, hey, we should take away money from the people in the House, people in the Senate, the presidency. We should actually take away money, dark money going to campaigns. There's a lot of people doing that, and we've actually seen, Senator Whitehouse on the Senate floor pushing that we would ban all stock trading, pushing out dark money and donations. We're for that. Honestly, that's the same thing we're doing. It's all our own money in here. Everybody's saying, hey, where's Soros's money coming to you? There's none of that. None of that's coming to us. So
I will say that there are people, because the government's shut down right now.
Yeah.
And there are people probably out here who work for government entities.
Yes, 100%.
And they're not getting paychecks.
Yes.
But Congress is still getting a paycheck.
Yes. Yeah, that's a frustrating thing. Even right now, August Pfluger is literally traveling around West Texas instead of negotiating a deal with the 7 Democrats across the aisle to open up the government. And, on my side with this, I totally get it. My dad was Air Force. We definitely dealt with shutdown problems and having to go through what are we going to do for these paychecks. And I do see that a lot of people right now are being very compassionate to our federal people. But I would also just like to say my family personally is going to be affected by the ACA subsidies that are going to be turned down. We're going to lose $700 a month in an ACA subsidy. And so what are we going to do about that when it comes to January if that's not fixed? And it's not just me. There's millions of people in Texas. Texas is going to be one of the most uninsured states if this is not fixed. So I totally get the fight that's going on right now, and I think people just need to come together and figure out a deal. And honestly, I'm glad that we're having these conversations now, because it doesn't seem like anything's getting to happen unless there's some really dark lines in the sand. So,
all right, and as well as the protest, you're also getting people registered to vote out here.
Yes, register to vote. That's the thing that's going to make change happen, right? If everybody makes their voices heard, that's what we're really all about. So we have VDRs here. We have sign-ups for different organizations that are here. So we're really excited about that. Just really, we want to build community. I know San Angelo is a great town to be in. We're really glad to be here. But we also want to make sure that these people also know where they can check in town and be a part of something that they care about.
All right, man. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate
Absolutely.
You guys.
All right, everybody. We're here with Terry. He's with the counter protest out here at the No Kings.
On the right side.
What are you hoping to accomplish out here?
Look, it's just, they live in a little echo chamber. They don't even want to give the man credit when he just saw 4 wars and is on the cusp of shutting down the Ukrainian war. And they hate it because he says he wants to save lives on both sides. That's humanitarian. You know what I mean? The people that piss and moan about these wars and stuff have never actually had a hot round fired at them. I served in Iraq and Afghanistan. I've been in combat more than I've been out of it. And they just don't understand what it is that they wish for, you know what I mean? And one guy comes in, he cuts down through the bullshit. No, he doesn't do it through diplomacy, he does it through strength, but he stops it. Now the hostages are back, Palestinian kids are being fed, whatever, right? I don't give a shit, it's not America. I want to focus on our poor and brown people here. But you can't, they live in an echo chamber, and unless you challenge them and challenge their ideology and be like, so what's so bad about America? Show me the country, throw a dart on the map, and I'll tell you I've probably been there. For this country, and I'll tell you if it's good or bad. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they just live in this chamber of just hate, and it's just one big cycle of hate. It's like, what was it? It was Ukraine, right? It was the new. Well, first it was the LGBT. That was the new UGG boot for the kids. Then that kind of went away because Ukraine came in. Well, now Ukraine, who talks about that? Even though it hasn't stopped, the same level of death is happening every day. Same conquering is happening. They don't care. Now they're on the Palestinians. Well, the Palestinians are gone. Well, back to the no kings. We don't want a king. Well, what fucking king do we have? Where is he? This dude was duly elected. He was overwhelmingly elected. He took all the bellwether states, but they don't know that. They literally don't know that. They think that it was stolen. And I'm like, how do you steal every single county? You know what I mean?
I mean, you look at 2020 when Joe Biden won.
Yeah.
They stopped counting in Michigan, and then all of a sudden, 100,000 votes all come in.
100%.
All for one side.
Yeah.
And whether it was legitimate or not, I'm not going to speak on
Right.
whether it was. Yes,
The optics
maybe
of
they
it.
were legitimate. Maybe they were.
Right.
But the optics of it look bad.
Push out all the Republican counters.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you have numbers over time.
Yep.
Those don't lie.
Right.
You have a consistent
The aggregate's
arc.
the aggregate.
Right. So when something like that happens, and you see a straight line on the counting, and it's straight up,
Yeah.
that sends up questions to you. I mean, that should send up questions to everybody.
And it even happened this time. They shut down counting in some of these same places, but the vote was so overwhelming that they just stopped. Like they stopped the counting and they're like, oh shit, may as well keep counting because the votes just kept coming in and they were for him. You know what I mean? Like, I think he gained like 18% higher votes in Chicago in the all black districts. Those unheard of. No white president has had that. Why? Because he spoke a message to them that I will get rid of the illegal immigration. Because what a lot of people don't understand, like the immigration, I grew up poor. And I grew up in Spanish ghettos, and I've grown up in black ghettos. And the worst one was the Native American because I'm part Native. So I lived on the res. And being half white there is not great. But the ghettos, like when these people come in, and it's not just Hispanics, you know what I mean? Like you got African, you got whatever. They go straight to the ghettos. So they take housing, they take resources that are, there for the people that are pay taxes. And they also take those first entry-level jobs that these kids, 16, 17-year-olds, you shouldn't be able to see a dude who can't speak English behind the counter at McDonald's. That should be kids. You understand what I mean? Like,
No, I do.
And I don't begrudge that guy getting a living for his family. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if we don't control immigration, we're doomed to fall. That's what killed Rome. It's what killed the Greeks. Unchecked immigration, just allowing everyone into your country and not having them assimilate, is what destroys empires. And we are an empire. Whether we like to say it or don't, we are an empire. But we are one of the first empires that actually goes around the world for good. It's like, I used to tell people, I said, you can say what you want to say about U.S. troops, but as far as an infantryman's rifle can aim, a child is safe.
All right.
You
Now,
understand?
I understand that, yeah. Now, what are some of the things you believe Trump has done right so far?
Well, I mean, the
Besides
immigration
the
is
safety
good. I think the immigration is a really big one. I like the fact that he's gone in and on the world stage and said, we're not going to put up with your bullshit anymore. You will pay your fair share. We'll boot you right out of the UN. I like that. I like the fact that he's made America have the strong footing that it deserves. We pay for everything for the world.
I will say, when he put in tariffs and everything, we had a left-leaning individual come into the office, and he said, right now, yes, it's going to hurt, but in the long run, it's going to help us.
100%. Well, who was that economist that worked for Biden? And you want to catch that interaction? No, I said, do you want to catch it? This left-leaning economist came in, and he wrote an op-ed in the New York Times. I don't really read the New York Times, but I read this op-ed because it came up on Facebook. And in the op-ed, he specifically said, I was wrong about everything, that the tariffs had brought in so much money. We're going to be in such a surplus that we could pay off all of our debt within a matter of a few years with tariff money. And that's the way these other countries, well, they're all companies, right? They're all corporations. Every single country out there incorporated years ago. But they're all...
The bottom dollar is the bottom line.
Yeah, right.
Ultimately.
And by hook or by crook, he's bringing money in. And it's something that hasn't happened in a very long time. And he's forcing these companies through these tariffs to build manufacturing here instead of letting the unions and the Democrats sell it all overseas. He's making them bring it back here. And we need those jobs. We need those industrial jobs, you know what I mean? When he put the tariffs in, he put the heat to them. That, like, you can't just run a gun. You can't run over here and set up a factory in Mexico and pay those people $10 an hour for a job that's worth 60 or 70, right? And then they don't give them any kind of OSHA. Like, these people, if they get hurt, they just get fired and a new guy gets the job. So he's like, no, on the humanitarian side of that alone, his tariffs have saved. You know what I mean? Because he also said that if whatever business you're doing down there, you have to have it meet American standards. And that's the first time that's happened. And all these other presidents have had the ability to do exactly what he's doing. He has chosen to make these moves, you know what I mean? And the other ones chose not to. We haven't had a president, and everybody Reagan. I was alive under Reagan, and Reagan was a good president. He wasn't the greatest, but he was a good president. But no one has been like Trump. I haven't ever seen a president that loved this country as much as he still hasn't taken a paycheck. Not one yet. I mean, that says a lot. If he was so greedy and so money hungry, he'd be taking a paycheck, right? It's like $428,000 a year. That's not chump change.
No,
Hell yeah, I'd take a quarter of that. You know what I mean? A lot of the bills that he pushes for, which I do believe that Congress is a hindrance, even though they claim that they're Republican. They do want everything by executive fiat so that when he leaves, it can be undone. I really believe that, that's what I don't like, is everything's executive fiat to this point, and that's just not the way our country should run. But I think he's done the tariffs right, and I think he's also done not just the border but the drug interdiction. How he's willing to tell these other countries, we will commit war on you. When he called the cartels terrorists, when he labeled them terrorists, that allows us to go after them without those countries' permission, because all of those countries have signed pacts with us, anti-terrorism pacts, did it after 9/11. So by him doing just those words, it allows our special operations to go in and strike without their permission, without their flyover space. We just have to alert them when we're in their airspace. That's going to be devastating to the cartels. I mean, absolutely, you don't want our special operations chasing you down. I mean, look at Pablo Escobar, richest man at that time on the planet, and they gunned him down. Delta Force did on a rooftop.
You don't want a battleship parking off in the Gulf of Mexico somewhere.
No, I don't. But I mean, if we have to.
I'm just saying, like, they don't want that.
No, they don't. They absolutely don't. They don't. Hell, they don't even want one of our small destroyers. I mean, that thing launches Tomahawks and cruise missiles. They don't want that. And Mexico for too long has been corrupt. And like they call soldiers who are in the U.S. expats, right, when they go abroad. If Mexico did what they did during the Alamo and just said, hey, y'all come down here, y'all wipe out the cartels, we won't prosecute you, and you can have everything you take from the cartels, we'd be down there so fast. And it'd be such an overwhelming force, the cartels would be dropped rifles, hoping to blend in. And then we just go door to door and be like, who's cartel? Point them out. You know what I mean? But I hope they do that, and I hope Trump gives us permission, because I'll be one of the first ones down there, kitted up, ready to go. Because the Mexican people do deserve to be free. This immigration thing isn't just about stopping them from coming across, but it's about stopping what's going on down there. Until we correct that.
There's a war going on the border, and people don't realize it.
Oh yeah, no. You could sit there in El Paso on the bridge that's American and listen to the gunfire going off.
I've been there.
Yeah, it's crazy. But you don't hear the liberal media talking about that. And those guys come across, hell, they own vast swaths of San Antonio. The cartel owns it. Police or no-go zones. Police don't go in there. Dudes walking around on the streets with fucking AKs on U.S. soil. That's crazy. We got cartel right here in San Angelo. And the police here don't do anything about it.
Now, I mean, we talked about what you'd like Trump to do. What do you feel where his shortcomings have been? What do you think
I think
he can
the
improve
Epstein
on?
list, I think, is a black eye for him, 100%.
I absolutely agree. You've got to release that list.
100%. And what's funny is, like, he's not on it. So whoever it is that his DOJ is protecting that's close to Trump, burn them down. I got no point for kitty diddlers. Trafficking. And it'll dismantle the deep state. Yeah.
Whether you're Democrat or Republican,
you got to go.
You need to
and
go.
It'll dismantle the apparatus, the deep state apparatus.
You know how many powerful people are on that list?
Oh, yeah. 100%. And all of them have enough power. I mean, that was a honey trap. It's a Mossad honey trap. It's one of the oldest plays in the book for them, to set up young kids. They're the Mossad, the Israeli Mossad, are the #1 traffickers of children in the world. I learned that when I was working intelligence. I mean, like, it blew my mind. I stopped being a supporter of Israel because of it. And so you got them set up that honey trap through a known Mossad agent. They caught some big boys with their pants down, and they deserve to be caught. I mean, they're pedophiles, plain and simple. Even though those girls are 14 or 15, they're still children.
Yeah.
And that's to me is the only thing I have against him.
I write the crime for just here in San Angelo, man, and it doesn't matter whether they're 2 or 16, they're kids.
Yeah. And they deserve to grow up and make decisions for themselves. And then if they're getting sexual at that age, that's Yeah, hopefully they have a parent involved and it's like, no, don't do it. Trust me, it's okay. It's worth the wait, you know. But not all of them do, sadly. But it doesn't mean they deserve to get trafficked, sent down to another country and abused by rich elite men and women, because there were women on those flights too.
I think man, woman,
I agree.
Democrat, Republican, if you're on the list, you got to go.
Yeah, and I read the court documents. They asked, out of the 128 Jane Does, did they see Trump there? And they're like, nope, never met him, never saw him. He was never at the apartment. He was never on the island. And, I mean, if all of them that have been there said that he wasn't there, so we'll just release it. That's his black eye. And it'll be a stain on his presidency if he doesn't.
Yeah, there was a Netflix special that it was about the Epstein. It might not have been Netflix. It was streaming.
Right.
And there was a picture of Bill Clinton with a little girl, and all they're doing was posing for a picture. There's nothing wrong with the picture. Yeah. They're sitting in some little airport somewhere. And the guy said, there's nothing wrong with that picture, but there's a reason it was taken. And that's kind of changed my view on a lot of things, that, you know, people will try to do things like that. And I'm not defending Clinton here or anything like that.
No,
you're
right.
He has done
because it was a little what you call a hopper airport, one of the small ones, the little puddle jumper airports. Yeah, no, there are some of those photos that are ops. They're photo ops that are set up, arranged. Yeah, 100%. But you can't go down there like 27 times and not be, you know, sticking your dick in the cheese. You know what I mean? Like, my boy was doing the deed. And what's just funny, because, like, probably shouldn't tell this story. I don't want to tell about who the guy is. He's here in Texas. He was one of the original EOD for the Army. He was one of the first command teams. He's high ranking. When Bill Clinton was running for president, he had to go secure this airfield outside of Little Rock for him to land in when he was doing his running for president. So he did. And when they're on scene, like EOD, and they're there for their purpose, they're in control of the whole scene. Police aren't in control, Secret Service aren't in control, the EOD is. And so they scanned everything, they went in, they used their top-of-the-line equipment at the time, right, their dogs, everything. And he said, here come the two buses. Off the bus, one bus comes Mrs. Clinton, off the bus comes, and she immediately starts bitching at the troops. He comes over like, ma'am, I know you're a politician, don't talk to my men that way. She's like, do you know who I am? He's like, I don't give a shit who you are. You're not talk to my men that way. They're in control of this scene. If that private tells you to get out of the way, you get out of the way, right? And so they're doing their thing, and he says, all right, now I need to search those buses. And the state police stepped up, his security, and says, oh, you can't do that. And he said, to hell I can't. Watch me. He goes on the bus, they're all 13 and 14-year-old girls on a charter bus. And he said, Bill would go on the bus and come off, and he called his command. He's like, I'm not staying here for this. He says, some illegal shit's happening here, and I don't want to be a part of it. And he's like, okay, you calling it? I'm calling it. There's nothing here. We're leaving. And they loaded up their little convoy, and they went back. And that was troops out of Fort Hood here back then. So he's always been known to be that guy. And Clinton, and Miss Clinton too, you know. So, but it's a stain, and I think that's one of the things that he should rectify. He should drop it. And I think, I'll be honest with you, I think Pam Bondi is another Bill Barr. I think she's a deep state gal that was sitting down there to monitor him. Because, you know, she talks all this game, but who's been arrested? They're like, we'll arrest these politicians and get in our way with immigration. Well, Pritzker told him, fuck off. He's not going to abide. They got a judge now saying, if you come in my courthouse, I'll have you arrested. ICE. But you can't arrest federal officers for being in a federal courthouse. You know what I mean?
I do.
Like, where's the arrest? Right. So I just don't believe anything she says. And I believe less and less about for Dan Bongino art. It's whatever's happened that they get on these guys or already have on them, that once they get these positions and they bring them in a room and they're like, so you're going to play ball with us, not you. Because the FBI has always been jackbooted. You read back at their beginning, Hoover, they've always been bad. They have never been a good organization, not once. They've never been pro-America. They've always been pro the FBI, pro the power. And release the damn files. But everything else, I mean, I'm pretty okay with it. I wish he'd move a little faster on the apprehensions. I think wish he'd step those up, because there's a whole, when I was stationed at Fort Lewis, there's a whole Russian population up there. There was like 200,000 strong that's illegal. Chinese population in Seattle, something like, it was like 600,000 strong, illegal.
I believe it.
Yeah, these protests line up. These police should be checking everyone's ID identification here. Every one of them. You know what I mean?
I do.
I mean, this immigration thing, it has to be fixed. Without fail, it has to be fixed.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you'd like to say
No.
before we
I mean, if you got anything to ask, I'll answer it. But
I think we're running low on battery on our memory space. But it was good talking to you, man.
That's my pleasure.
I appreciate you being here. All right, everybody, James Molina here with Michael. He is here at the No Kings protest. Michael, what are you doing out here?
Man, I'm just showing my support today for No Kings. The Constitution has come under fire in many different ways in the last months, and it's just really important that we all stand up for that. From the everyday Joe to our congressman, everybody who believes this is wrong, we need to stand up for it. And that's in our everyday way that we can. We're out here. A lot of people say this does no good, but it does good for our hearts. It gives us hope. In the darkest times, hope is something that we give each other and we give ourselves, and that's important for us to keep going. Something very important that I want to say is a lot of people are like, oh, these are paid people. These are people that are shipped in from out of town.
There are no buses here.
Yeah, there's no buses. We're all San Angelo locals. I've been here my whole life, minus 7 years. You know what I mean? I live here. I work here. My kid goes to school and plays in the band here. We are part of your community. We have different opinions. That doesn't mean that we're evil. That doesn't mean that we want to kill you or that we want to have violence towards you. That just means in our minds, there's an injustice, and just in the same as their case, when they stand up for injustice. When we stand up for injustice. What I would hope is that we can unblur those lines of hating each other's sides for a difference of opinion and difference of thinking. Let's come together. Let's try to make a way for both of us to make sacrifices to advance our nation and our country. I love the United States of America, and I love Texas. I was Texas born here in San Angelo at Shannon, and I'm proud of that. But I feel that our heritage is coming under fire, that our peace is coming under fire. And I feel like that the people who are doing this don't even have the courage to really step forward and be like, this is what we're doing. They are, you're not supposed to say the quiet part out loud, but I feel like, have some courage, stand up, and, don't push aside facts for people's feelings, you know what I mean? And I will try to do the same. Let's try to, move forward with our lives here in unity and community. That's the thing I've always said. We are here to put the unity in community. So, all
right. Now, what are some things you're absolutely just critical of Trump on?
I'm critical of Trump if you speak out against him, you get in trouble. There are people that have lost their jobs, people that are, getting arrested. ICE is a horrible thing to me. They're the Gestapo as far as I'm concerned. They have no, rights except for what the president himself has given, and that is extremely wrong, extremely wrong. I feel that the way that the immigrants are being treated is very, very wrong. I feel like the way that the genocide in Palestine is very wrong. I feel that I feel the way that every time he talks, he says the evil left, the horrible left. It's always negative, no matter what. Whether he's praising himself, talking to another country, just like a couple of days ago, he was supposed to be in another country helping them, and it was just all about himself, And so these are some things, and don't get me wrong, because I didn't vote for Joe Biden, So I feel like I'm a middle of the road person, but I feel like we've just had some really bad candidates as of lately. I think that we should all focus on not so extreme on both sides, more of the middle, so we can all get along, B, prosper, because this economy is ridiculous right now. I think that if we were to have more control over the government and how they're spending our money, that would be better off for us all. But again, I'm not a congressman. I'm not a lobbyist. I'm just a guy from San Angelo that is very passionate. That's all.
Can you, I mean, if you're critical, is there anything he's done correctly in your mind?
Ending the war was good. I think that, let's see, he did something the other day too that I had to give him props for. Taking corn syrup out of stuff. I know he said that.
Do you agree with RFK and a lot of that stuff?
No, I mean, I don't get me wrong, I don't agree with RFK, but I do think that corn syrup, just from what I've seen in the studies that I've done, is very bad. I do think that it has, it might be, like he says Tylenol is, maybe making that progress without us even knowing. But like I said, I'm not a scientist, neither is RFK. But like I said, man, I'm here. If somebody does something right, I'm going to give them praise for it. But I just feel like this is like dictator status. That's where we're headed toward an autocracy, and I'm just not. I don't feel that that's the right. I mean, we've been against Nazis forever. Since World War I, we have fought that power, and now we have people in Congress literally not saying that that's bad. You know, not I forgot the word.
Condemning it?
Yeah, not condemning it, and that to me is just, it's not right. You know, if you have hate in your heart, at least show us who you are and let us know. Like I said, playing by these sneaky rules is not. It's just cowardice to me.
All right. And then one more thing. What are you hoping this protest accomplishes?
Honestly, like I said, man, earlier, I don't think that there will be a lot accomplished in this protest. I think that it, out of the most, it gives the people of San Angelo hope. I think it shows, it lets them be seen even by other people who have the same ideals. And so that's a great thing. Hope pushes us. You know what I mean? It's one of the strongest things that there is. And so whether that's just to give San Angelo hope, whether it's to be a part of the bigger protest nationally and give the world hope that, hey, there might be a chance for change, if not right now, sometime. So that's what I'm doing here.
All right. Well, we appreciate you talking
Yes,
to
sir.
us.
Hey, thank you, James. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man.
What he say? It's complicated, and there's sinners on.
But you can't fool all the people all the time.